does this feel real?
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough because I can feel myself speaking a little bit differently because we're on camera.
I feel myself acting differently too.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't think this is so different
no,
from
it's
how
not.
I am.
But you feel it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Let's stand up. I have a new idea. Follow me.
Okay.
Road trip. This is the first episode of the Breaking Character podcast, and the first person we're talking with is Michael Mishkin. And today, me and Michael had a conversation that started good, but low-key, we felt very performative. Halfway through, we completely 180, and something really cool happens. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So I have a question for you, because you are now Mr. John Octopath. You have all this cool shit going on in your life. Mm-hmm. Would you say you have it all together?
Leading question. No. Yep. Absolutely not.
See, I want to hear about that.
It's so funny how I was having a conversation with a friend recently where I was telling him, my God, it seems like you're on such a huge tear, like you're on this crazy streak, like I'm so happy, like you've been working towards this. And he goes, dude, same with you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, no. Because all I'm focused on is what's next, all these other things that I want to do. Like, I've only been, a major character in one major video game, like, boo-hoo, sucks to be me. But there's always a next step, and I think as driven people, as many of us are, it is so easy to lose sight of what you've done and why it matters and how much you wanted it. I'm sure I'm far from the first person to express this, but it's like you spend so much time and effort just dreaming of this finish line, and then cross the line, and that doesn't exist anymore, nor does it matter in the slightest, which is silly, but it's because it's like, okay, I achieved it, move on. So I try to force myself to celebrate these things and stuff, but do I have it all together? No. I
loved the laugh you did, by the way, when I asked you that. Why did you laugh?
I laughed because it felt like you knew the answer. Not as a judgment to me, but does anyone have it together? You could ask.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you could ask whoever you view as the most successful person, Do they think they have it all together? Mm-hmm. There's almost no way.
The crazy thing is, though, is like we all pretend like we do. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, especially in our industry where we are, as you said earlier, like products to sell, and we have to make ourselves look like products worth buying.
Yeah.
There's this weird thing of like, person over here has this mask on and they're like, I'm great, and here's what I've done, and here's how good I'm doing. And then person B looks over at them and goes, oh shoot, I should do that too. And then it becomes this like chain reaction.
Yeah, and I think that point about it being because we are marketing ourselves is really what it comes down to, is because it's a flawed system. But putting myself in the shoes of a client or a buyer or something, if someone came to me pitching themselves and made sure to caveat all the shit that they aren't doing right or haven't done and want to, I'd be like, why are you telling me all of this stuff? Because like everything involves, unfortunately, financial risk. Well, financial risk and opportunity cost, and there's all these things that if you're going to take a chance on someone you're not familiar with, it might not work out. And so we have to present the version of ourselves that says this will definitely work out, because otherwise you're just going to go with these people who you are familiar with, who you can already trust.
Yeah.
But I will also say, I think like when it got down, in sessions, once you've sort of crossed those bridges, I think there is more opportunity to be more vulnerable, and not just in the context of you're acting, you need to be vulnerable, but like tech problems and scheduling issues or miscommunications, and that might not just come from you, the actor, but from the engineer or from the director or from the client. And I've been in so many situations where I wasn't the one at fault. I did everything great. My tech was ready to go, if I was at home, and, I was prepared, and, all this stuff. And then something else went wrong. And all I could really do was offer understanding and grace in the moment, even if part of me might have been frustrated. If the shoe were on the other foot, that's all I could ask of anybody else, is like, please be understanding, please know that I'm doing my best. And in those cases, if it is something that, is wrong on my end, even something like, my interface just shit the bed and I got to restart my computer and stuff. I feel bad because I'm not prepared, but like, at that point, you can't really pretend to be perfect. So I think owning that you made a mistake, and, just moving past it and understanding that, I feel like that's a very human phase of the process, where it's just like, okay, we've made it. We're all just people who want to create something cool. Mm-hmm. I goofed. You guys don't know me. This might be something I do all the time. So then, like, just owning mistakes, owning issues, fixing them, and moving on from there feels, in a weird way to me, like a counterpoint to this. I have to present myself as flawless and perfect. And I know that's not really, or at least that doesn't feel like the same version of that you were necessarily talking about, how we, in the public eye, try to present this version of ourselves that is so perfect. But they all feel kind of linked a little bit. When it comes to like just how one presents oneself, especially on social media, I found that there are a lot of people out there who don't present that image of themselves.
In what way?
Well, I think some people, it doesn't feel as intentional. I think some people just go on social media, and if anything is wrong in their lives, they express it. And they're like, I have this problem and this problem and this problem. And that's not something I can personally relate to, because I keep my issues very close to the chest. Yeah. Not because I feel like I need to hide them, but because I feel like I don't want to burden anybody with them.
Oh, well, what do you mean by that?
Well, like, now we're in therapy.
No, we're not in therapy. I just want to know how your brain works.
No. So sort of a consistent theme throughout my life is like, I want to solve my own problems. And it's not that I don't feel like I can ask for help, but I feel like help is not anything I'm ever going to take for granted or assume that I'm going to receive.
Full stop. Where and why do you believe that? Like, where did that come from?
And that's why I said we're in therapy now.
Okay, wait. I got my Jamba ready. And go.
I don't know the answer to that. Sorry. No, but I don't. I think, like, a lot of the times like schoolwork, for example, I was always the kid in a group project who did everything. And was like, you bitches aren't reliable.
The leader?
Yeah. Or
me
like,
too.
But I didn't want to wrangle other people. I just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Be like, you guys you should go over there. I'll do it. I felt capable, but I was never good at delegating, because I'm sure it has. Well, I know it comes down to wanting to be in control of things.
I would know nothing about that.
Because, like, having uncovered this in therapy a while ago, in actual therapy, all of my anxiety stems from a feeling of not being in control. And they're different, There's like, I was, there was a period where, like, I got very claustrophobic in elevators, didn't want to get on them, because if that elevator happened to stop with me in it, which, by the way, has never happened in my life, I had zero say in what happened next.
That's pretty scary.
It is. Or like, even just the control of, I can't be in the location that I want to be in. I can stand in an elevator for, here's a better example. So the subway in Chicago, this was over COVID. I got very claustrophobic on that after having been riding it for years and years and years, and I found that, like, it was at a time they were doing a lot of work on the tracks. So if they were like closing a section of the track, trains would have to take turns going each way on a single side. And so you might be sitting underground they would never tell you how long until a train passed, and then you could go.
Yeah.
And I found that, like, I could be on the train in the subway for like 30 minutes, not care. The second we were stopped underground, Didn't matter if I had just gotten on. That's when I started to freak out, because now I can't be in the place. I can't choose where I am anymore. I am stuck here.
Yeah.
So that's like, I don't have control there.
Gotcha. And then how does that lead into your feeling of like being a burden?
Yeah. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the root of it. Ultimately, though, like, again, I was very self-sufficient when I was younger. So I wasn't necessarily learning how to ask for help.
Gotcha. You had things in control. You had your ducks in a row, and outside forces maybe could have tampered with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that it's not necessarily the same thing. Like, asking for help means I'm not in control of the situation. I think I learned the habit in one context and then sort of carried it over to another context.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Cool.
But as much as I'd like to think at least that I'm very willing to like help people and stuff, and like if someone needs it, I will reach out, or I will do what I can, or I will, at the very least, like try to help share their message so that others can help them out. And for reasons that elude me, I would never want to be on the other side of that.
What do you mean?
I don't want to be the one asking for help like that, and I don't know why.
Wait, asking for help in what way?
And like just like sort of broadcasting it and being I don't know who to turn to. I'm in a shitty situation.
Like Instagram close friends story, like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
like I don't know why I would never want to do that. Part of the thought process for me is like, who gives a shit what I'm going through? Like to me, like problems are personal. Even successes are personal. Like it feels weird sometimes. Like I'm excited to share like a big role or something, but like, I see people excitedly posting about little steps that they take, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I would find myself being like, who fucking cares? And like maybe... In
terms of your small steps, your small wins?
Yeah. Like I feel like I'm happy, but I'm also content keeping those to myself.
Okay.
Like I don't feel the need to celebrate every little win outwardly.
So what I'm hearing is that you feel confident in yourself enough to not rely on social media for outlets such as like just feeling like you have to share everything that's going on in your life, positive or negative.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. And I realize and recognize some people are different, and that's, not a better or worse way to be necessarily.
No, absolutely not. There's no one right way to do anything.
Right.
And we don't have to, like, something I've been talking to a lot of people lately is we don't have to fit into a mold.
Yeah.
We don't have to fit into a mold of a voice actor on Instagram. We don't have to fit into a role of just a human on Instagram. We don't have to fit into any roles, any molds in any aspect of our life. It's really cool to hear the way that you navigate social media, because I'm very different, but I love learning your perspective, and that's really neat.
I'm realizing, as I'm thinking about what I just said, that like I feel like because of the way I prefer to engage with social media, outwardly, it probably comes across as someone who's trying to tailor how they're being perceived. Oh. But I really just don't care to share all the finer
you don't have
details.
a problem with that. You don't need to... would you say you have a very full inner life that you don't need to,
I think so. And, I have a great relationship with my partner and my very close friends who I can celebrate privately by being like, hey, dude, this cool thing happened to me. And they'll be like, fuck yeah. And that's good enough for me.
That's amazing. No, I love that. I think a big problem with social media is people seeking that validation. Again, those small wins or that hard time. And again, there's nothing wrong with it, but it can create this desperation. But when you have that in your personal life and it's very strong, then it makes perfect sense to me now why the other stuff like doesn't concern you, because that's what fulfills you.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
I'm getting distracted by this squirrel over here.
I can't see.
He just left.
He didn't like me.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
Sorry,
tree.
you had to be there. I'm like nervous about this camera. Is it dying so fast? I think I'm still trying to figure out. I love what we've been saying so far, but there's something in me that's like, I want to experiment. Earlier, how you were saying like we just need to like put ourselves out there. I think maybe I'm struggling to do that right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I wonder, because you mentioned earlier like you don't want it to seem podcasty.
Yeah.
Right. Is there a reason?
Because it is not something that I relate to, that feeling. And so I feel more certain that other people would not. And so my hope is, I guess I guess what I've been feeling is like, does this feel real?
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough because I can feel myself speaking a little bit differently because we're on camera.
I feel myself acting differently too.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't think this is so different
No,
from
it's
how
not.
I am.
But you feel it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Let's stand up. I have a new idea. Follow me.
Okay.
Road trip. Are you okay sitting on the ground?
I'll do my best.
I like this way better.
Sick. Oh, this is great.
This feels good.
Yeah. We were about to talk about something. We were about to talk about your week. Do you still want to talk about your week?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so remember when I was like sharing like my dog got sick and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So she was better after like 24 hours. Like it was totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like emotionally hungover for a while. People were donating to help me recover financially.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a weird relationship with money.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, I knew people cared about me, but I didn't know they cared about me that much.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I guess the support was overwhelming. And I remember us talking about earlier of like inconveniencing people. I felt guilty because I don't think I not only inconvenienced people, but almost like took something from people.
I get that. Even though that's like kind of nonsense, you know? Like,
I mean,
because
yeah, you know it is.
No one made them do that.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I would feel the same way. It's why I like... That's part of the reason I don't tend to post things like that. 'Cause I'm like, I don't want you to care. I don't want you to care about me.
Yeah, isn't it weird?
It is weird. Because I don't know, people are so eager to care about each other, I think. The right people are. Like, I remember when you took it down, and I was like, shit, I didn't have a chance to send you any money yet.
No, the
sure?
Venmo?
Yeah.
It's because people were abusing it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I got freaked out, and I took it down. Like, no, I don't want people to help me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so weird, because I literally have a podcast for this whole thing, and yet I think I still am, like, the least qualified person to have this podcast, because I struggle so much with that reaching out thing.
That's what makes you qualified. I don't know.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I think if this wasn't about, like, you trying to discover things about yourself as equally as your guests, then it would be less. Then it would be Kennedy's Therapy Podcast, which I don't think that's what you intend for it to be. I mean, and it's not like you're coming on here trying to like make a point necessarily, or like be like, I'm going to educate. You know, I think you're trying to just shed light on things, and you don't need to know you don't have to be perfect to do that. My own therapist, before we, amicably ended things, he rescheduled on me 3 times in a row because he was in a really bad spot in terms of his own mental health, and like, was that like an okay way to handle it? I mean, it was fine for me because I was in a fine spot, but if I really needed him, it would have really like fucked me up, I think. But like, I trusted him as an expert, and I still do. And he still goes through his own shit. If you didn't go through all that shit and still like weren't actively going through that, I don't think that it would make anybody qualified to actually like be a therapist.
Damn, that's really wise.
How could you understand?
I know.
So don't worry about it. I'm glad people helped you.
Yeah, me too. It's just so silly. It's you know these things are objectively ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Of like, yeah, I don't need to feel bad because people wanted to reach out.
Yeah.
But I still do. And you know what? No, I'm gonna take in what you said. You're right. Like, every single one of us at every single level struggles.
Yeah. And also, by the way, if this is overgeneralizing, but like if the things that you were struggling with were rational, I don't think that it would make it a mental health problem. Mental health is inherently irrational, in my opinion.
Well, mental illness. Mental health.
Mental illness,
yeah. That's true, and I have the anxiety disorder to thank for that. Mm-hmm. But thanks. Yeah. I think I'm still trying to come off of that. Again, a vulnerability hangover, as they sometimes call it, of like, wow, I really, like, let myself be seen. Mm-hmm. Let myself share what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's weird because you can only end up in that situation once you start perceiving yourself through others' eyes.
Yeah.
Like, because you're always with yourself. You know, I imagine you're vulnerable with your own self pretty often. But, and, you know, maybe when you made that post, you weren't even aware that you were being extra vulnerable. Maybe you were. And then, you know, only after you saw people's responses did you kind of realize that the sort of energy had shifted in a way you didn't expect. I don't know. I'm projecting a lot.
No, I mean, you're hitting the nail right on the head. I just can't help but feel a little bit like a fraud.
No.
Like a fraud of being like, hey guys, like, reach out to your friends and support each other. But you probably have a point of, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, that those who struggle, again, have their own, help me out here.
I'll just compare it to something that I found when I was younger is I was always really good at relationship advice, and I was single till I was 23. And yet, like, I understood relationships from the outside and yet was terrified of them from the inside. And that one didn't invalidate the other. And you can care and understand and advocate for reaching out and people, you know, asking for the help that they need while still understanding that it's scary. And I think it's so much more, it means so much more that way because you understand that what you're telling someone to do isn't easy. That doesn't make it less true.
Yeah. I guess what I was trying to say earlier when I couldn't figure it out is, yeah, the people who struggle do have some sense of authority because they know where those feelings come from.
Yeah. Not to obnoxiously make this about acting again, but it's a lived experience, you know, like if you can relate to something that a character is going through, you're going to do a better job expressing it, even if it's something that character has resolved and you haven't. You still get it, you know, it doesn't make your perspective not valid. I want to turn this back into acting. I just wanted to, you know, I thought about this. Lived experience.
We could talk about whatever.
Okay. Saying, like, we just need to, like, put ourselves out there. I think maybe I'm struggling to do that.
That's really good advice.
Right now.
And thanks for hearing me out. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, this is as much about you as it is about me. I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that your dog is okay.
Yeah.
I can tell you, coming up on a year ago, one of my cats died, and that was really hard.
I'm so sorry.
Thanks. She spent a week in the ICU before we sort of accepted that it wasn't going to get any better. And as much as my partner and I don't regret, you know, the decision to bring her home and have her euthanized, yeah, it still didn't suck any less. And I realized after the fact, because like I was up every night while she was at the ICU waiting for the nurse to call with an update. And I remember the tone of voice that she used kind of all the time, but especially when she was not sharing good news. And like, I weirdly got like, very minorly, but like traumatized by the experience.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone else in a different medical context about something completely unrelated to my cat, and she used that same tone of voice, and like I had like a brief, it like brought me back to like being distraught in the middle of the night again, because it was just like, I don't know, it just got so like etched into me, only over the course of a few days, you know.
Well, first of all, before you go on, you don't need to minimize it that way, because that's exactly what I did when my dog got sick. Is, you know, you can't help but feel like, and people might even say to you, it's just a dog, it's just a cat, but it's a being that you care about so deeply. Yeah. You were traumatized, and I'm very sorry that happened to you.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I'm okay, but if I drink too much, I get sad. Just kidding. If I drink too much and then talk about it, I get sad. So luckily, I'm only a few drinks in right now. No.
What was in that banana peanut butter?
I think it fermented.
I have a bit of that.
No, I'm fine. But yeah, I mean, that was the one time actually that I did go ahead and share a very vulnerable moment on social media, just on my personal Instagram. Yeah. The whole world didn't need to know about that. Yeah. But like, I needed to express all the things I was thinking about my cat and share all my favorite photos of her. And that was important for me because I didn't want to have that conversation with everybody. You know,
Sure.
But I
That
still
gets
thought,
exhausting.
I thought people should know.
Yeah.
Um,
What was your cat's name?
Elsie.
This is for Elsie.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. I love that. She was Shiloh's, my partner's cat, but you know, we also grew very attached over the last 6 years or so. Yeah, she was really special. And it sucks and it's stupid and it's not fair. She was supposed to be 1,000,000 years old. But yeah, it sucked. It sucked, and it would have sucked even if she had gotten better, you know? Like, so, you know, it's valid that you're feeling that way about your dog, because I feel like, you know, it's confronting mortality in a way. Your dog is fine.
Yeah.
And, you know, we brought a different one of our cats to the emergency vet a couple times, and he was fine, but it's sort of like, it's this unpleasant reminder that, like, one of these times it won't be fine. And I'm not trying to bring you into a negative place, but I think that's why it's so hard.
It is hard. You get a brief glimpse into the future, and that is so terrifying.
Yeah.
It's so scary, and I guess I haven't yet lost a dog, so I was like feeling so uncertain where to even put my feelings at that point.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's
so
a brand new experience. How are you supposed to know how to feel about it?
Yeah. And you know what's funny is lately, like, I don't know if you've noticed, but this year in 2026, like I'm wearing my shameless bracelet right now. That was my theme for 2025, but my theme for 2026 is the word real. So my social media has become a little bit different as I just kind of like whip my phone out. I'm like, here's what I'm thinking, and I share it. So I have had no problem of like, here's what's going on with me. But when shit really hit the fan, that's when I was like wanting to share the least. Which is funny because it exactly mirrors your experience.
Yeah. And who says you have to? I don't know. Just because you want to be real doesn't mean you always have to share everything.
No, I guess in my mind it's like, you're right. To be real is really to take away any expectation, any curated anything. In fact, it would be less real to just post stuff for the sake of posting stuff that feels vulnerable to share just cause.
Yeah, like if you want to, fine. But that's like a pet in a critical condition is a deeply personal experience. And you don't owe that to anybody.
I know I don't owe it to anyone, but I don't know, lately I've felt more alone because I haven't seen people share stuff. I think that's why I rebranded my podcast too, is because I'm frustrated that so many people I'm not frustrated that people are keeping things close to their chest, because that is obviously something that needs to be respected. But yet, I just couldn't help but feel like I'm the only one, and I want to end the way this is, so I'm gonna start sharing stuff in the hopes that someone out there feels the same and that maybe we can be connected. Which, I don't know, maybe feels like righteous to me, but maybe it comes from like to be really real, and I didn't expect to talk about this, especially on the first episode of this podcast, this new kind of podcast. But like, I don't know, is it actually selfish in that I want to talk about this stuff, yes, to help people, but also for my own purposes?
This is interesting. I've thought about this before.
Really?
I don't remember which philosopher said this, and I'm not a philosophy guy, but someone who is, you know, smarter than me said that there is no such thing as a selfless act. Because, think about it this way, like, you like helping people, or what is a really, I don't know, I'll just try to, you know, make it from my own personal experience. Like, I love playing with my niece and nephew. It makes them very happy, and it makes me happy to see them happy. So ultimately, I'm doing it because it makes me happy. I don't think that makes it selfish. If it made me miserable, but I thought I should do it anyway, that's still selfish, because I'm doing it for to justify my own purposes. even if I, like something extreme, like something I absolutely don't want to do at all. Oh God, I can't think of anything. Like that I would get zero fulfillment out of, but I felt like I had a duty to do. Well, fulfilling my duty is something that I want, so I'm doing it for myself.
Damn.
You know, there is no escaping doing things for yourself, because otherwise you wouldn't do them. But that doesn't devalue them.
You don't think so?
No. I think really the difference comes down to, like, are you taking away from others or are you adding to others? And if your joy, if your happiness and fulfillment are coming from genuinely benefiting other people, it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to feel happy about it. And that's allowed to be your motivator. If it makes you happy to see other people happy, you're helping people. It's not selfish to make other people happy. It'd be weird if you did that and you're like, fuck, I hate this shit. You know, I can't even imagine a version of this where you're doing all of this and it doesn't benefit your own, like it doesn't, you don't feel like you're getting anything out of it.
That's a really good point. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's free. Costs one smoothie.
I selfishly got what I wanted, which was connection and relatability.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think if you find it feeling like an obligation, it's still got nothing to do with selfishness. It's just got to do with, is that really what you want, or is that how you want to go about it? Mm. But sometimes things are just no one else's business. You don't have to share it just to be a real person. Or you can share about it later when you're feeling prepared to.
Yeah.
You don't owe anyone anything. I also feel like it's hard to genuinely connect over social media.
That's where I feel my ambition come in. I'm like, what if I can be the one to make it change?
Mm-hmm. But I don't personally look to social media for connection. I think, so we have very different perspectives on this, so you don't have to agree. In fact, I don't expect you to
I'm
agree.
very interested to hear.
But, sort of out of the context of you specifically, anybody posted a video of them on Instagram or wherever, of them genuinely sobbing because their pet was sick or because some other terrible thing happened. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? Why are they showing me this? Like, to me, it's like, it comes across to me as attention seeking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, just have your own life. The whole world does not need to be a voyeur to everything that happens to you.
I totally agree with that.
And so it's interesting, because even if I saw someone I knew doing that, I'd be like, what is making them do this? I think it's almost impossible to appear genuine on social media because you get to pick what you do and don't show.
Yeah.
Which is, I think social media has its place. I think you have an ambitious and noble goal. I think genuine connection might have to be relegated to in-person.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
As you were talking, I feel like, yeah, I super agree with you. And because I agree with you, I want to clarify some things.
Okay.
Yeah, this podcast, the mission is not, let's make social media better by recording videos of us crying.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think that doesn't need to happen. Mm-hmm. It doesn't need to happen for the person who's posting their sake or the followers' sake. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that real world, like reaching out when you need help, that real world asking for someone when you are in the hospital because your dog is sick or something like that is the thing that I hope to change.
I see.
And I guess
that I can respect.
And I guess the easiest way to start is social media. Mm-hmm. But honestly, at this point, I think I'm going in circles.
That's okay. You don't have to know.
I don't. You know what? I'm going to sit with this.
Yeah. You know, it's not as satisfying not to have a conclusion.
No, but
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I still think it's good. I still think this is the sort of thing that not enough people talk about to begin with. So just having the conversation is step one. I prefer to have my close, trusted network of people I turn to when I need somebody. But not everybody is like that. Not everybody has that. I mean, or they haven't. Maybe they have close friends, but they're just not. Maybe it's easier for them to open up over social media, and I think these are all valid ways to seek help when it's needed.
Yeah.
And I think the way that you reached out and sought help was completely valid as well. And also, it never came across as needy or attention-seeking, just for the record.
Thank God.
Kamala Kennedy would never
Thank
do this
God.
in a performative way.
No. Yeah. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird trying to navigate this whole concept of being real.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's, we always exist. You exist within the context. Everything we do is filtered through the environment that we're in.
Oh.
Like we were talking about how it's like, we feel like there's this switch that sort of flipped when we started recording this, where it's like we can't turn it off. We're behaving a little bit differently.
Yeah.
That is, we exist within the context. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because at least to me, the little message running in loop in my head is, don't meander too far off topic and try to say something interesting.
What was in my brain was tailor this into something profound and speak up maybe sometime soon.
Yeah, no, it's tough. And if you're looking for profound, you're in the wrong place.
Hey, you too. That's not what's happening here.
Um,
But you know what? Oh, damn. But I feel really great about the last however long we've been here.
You do?
I do. But I also feel like super embarrassed. And I
Why?
think that's kind of the best, because I was just here yapping about my life problems to you.
Good.
About like
That's
my
what I
dog
was
and
doing.
stuff. No, but that's the thing. Like, I feel embarrassed about it, but yes.
Good. You
That's
did
the
it. You were
point.
vulnerable.
Yeah, that was,
Well-
that like kind of sucked. But in a beautiful, beautiful way.
I'm glad that you feel that way, because it didn't come across that way even a little bit to me. It just felt like we were having a conversation. So
We did it.
We did it. We did it. We had a real conversation in front of a video camera.
Wow. I guess this is what it takes, huh?
Yeah.
To really be real.
Yeah. I don't think it's, necessarily the environment. I think that helps, being in a not so formal of an environment.
Yeah.
And-
No, honestly, I think it has nothing to do with where we put the cameras or the fact that we're sitting on this grass now. I think I'm proud of myself for saying something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm very happy that you were able to adjust with me.
For sure. I want this to be the thing that you want it to be. And I'm glad you expressed something. And I think the only way to really find this is to end up there.
Yeah.
You can't on purpose have a deep and vulnerable conversation. Like, sit down and be like,
You're like,
"Oh,
all right, it's time
yeah,
to.
sorry, I kicked your hand."
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you felt comfortable saying some of those things. And
Oh, I didn't.
And push through it.
I didn't feel comfortable at all, but you being here definitely made it better.
Oh,
So thanks for that. You're a very good friend.
Thank you.
I know I'm trying to not be podcasty, but I did plan a last question that I wanted to ask
All
you.
right, ask
so
it.
I'm going to ask it. In the past, we've always asked, what's your favorite thing about yourself? And I love that question.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to try a new question. And it's, if this was the last time I ever saw you, ever, if this was the last time anybody ever heard from you, what is the last piece of advice that you would impart to them? What
Good God.
last words?
I feel a thought manifesting. You're going to have to cut, though, because I have to think for a second.
That's okay. Take as long as you want.
Okay. One, you've always got to be prepared to be your own champion. And two, it'd be weird if you weren't fucking up all the time.
Can you break those two down?
Sure. To me, like, be your own champion means, like, advocate for yourself, believe in yourself, be kind to yourself, do all the things that you wish others would do for you, for yourself. Challenge yourself to do it all the time. You will not do it all the time, and that's okay. And that's part two, is you know, we talked about how people put this sort of manicured version of themselves online. We're all fucking up constantly.
Yeah. Whether we post it or not.
Yeah, and like, I think it's fair to, I mean, it's good to aspire to be better and to be great and to feel like you're attaining mastery, but like the whole time you're gonna fuck up. And the only way that that's a problem is if you criticize yourself for it.